Good afternoon, folks. Good afternoon, folks. Are we live? Good afternoon, folks. It's time for another Thursday afternoon session. And it's also the topic of this Thursday is time management. Time and space are inseparables, as we all know. Now, when we say time and space are inseparables, what are we trying to say? Space has been created by Big Bang Theory and universe too. So space and universe exist together is a known fact from the Big Bang Theory. Hence, time and space become inseparables. Now that we know that time has been derived from Big Bang Theory as well, let's talk about the genesis of time. Now, what is the genesis of time? Genesis of time is as simple as Earth's rotation. Earth rotates around itself in a cycle of 24 hours. And it also rotates and revolves around Sun in a span of 365 days. Now, this is called revolution. So the basic factors of hours and days are derived from Earth's rotation and revolution. Now, understanding the time cycle, 60 seconds is 1 minute, 60 minutes is 1 hour, 24 hours is 1 day, 7 days is 1 week, 4 weeks is 1 month, 3 months is 1 season, and 4 seasons, 1 year. Every one of us know these demarcations and these time cycles, but how many of us interestingly understand and use each of these life cycles, time cycles, to our advantage? Let's try to understand this in today's webinar. What is time's existence? Time exists unevenly over this globe. When we say unevenly over the globe, time exists actually in time zones and in equinoxes. Time zone. A person has less control on a time zone because somebody lives in Canada, somebody lives in US, somebody lives in India. And each of these has different time zones. But coming to equinox, the term equinox means equal. Equal here means the duration of day and night. Now, but every day is not an equinox day. There is a variation of duration of day and night in each day and in each time zone of this world. Now, this is where it makes a big difference for each individual to understand their time zone, to understand their time duration of day and night, and organize their day for a productive output in their life systematically. Now, measured or measurable action or process or a condition in a given period is defined as time. That means a person is making an action or involved in a process or is trying to condition something in a period is actually involving his time. So the 24 hours allocation of time into your actions, into your processes, and into your conditions is the secret of your life. Now, time is irreversible. Time is precious. This has to be understood by one and all, and invest their time very intelligently and very prudently. Let me give you an example. A bee spends a time And a mosquito also spends a time. When I say they spend the time, they spend their respective times in their business. The bee spends its time in creating honey, whereas the mosquito spends its time in sucking blood of human being or plant juices. Now, a bee is praised in its business and a mosquito is swatted in its business. So try to understand, if you can utilize your time, you can be a bee. If not, you can be branded a mosquito. Be careful on this. Try to understand what is time and how time is to be used. Now, let me take you into a presentation on how to plan your time and what exactly is time and how time affects you in your life. Let's understand this value of 1 year. Ask someone who has been writing an exam and who has failed an exam. He will tell you what is the value of 1 year. Value of 1 month. Ask someone who has not received his last month's salary. A person who has slogged, who has worked hard for last 30 days and has not got his last month's salary. He knows the value of 1 month. Value of 1 week. Ask someone who has been admitted to a hospital for a whole week. An active person who is confined to a hospital bed for 1 week, not allowed to get up, not allowed to walk, not allowed to meet anyone. He realizes what is the value of his freedom, what is the value of his time, what is the value of last week's time, value of 1 day. Ask him or her who is hungry for a whole day. Let's try to stop eating for a whole day. And the very next day, let's realize what is the value of 1 day in time. Value of 1 hour. Ask him or her who is waiting for someone. This is common to most of us. We tend not to follow our time, even though we say we want to go in a given time and we want to be punctual, but none of us really take care of this. Value of 1 minute. Ask that person who has missed his train by 1 minute. The train doesn't wait for anyone. It moves. It keeps its schedule. So you have to catch it up. Value of 1 second. Ask that person who has survived in an accident just by a second. In a whisker, he just misses an accident. He realizes what is the life's gift to him by surviving in that accident. Now let's see how we can plan our time. Audio recording. Get into this habit of recording whatever is happening on your mind, because those thoughts and those emotions, they will help you to act in more appropriate ways than mere instant thinking. When you strike a thought, you have certain emotion in that thought, and there is certain natural timing when it is generated through your mind. So it becomes more imperative if you can record that thought with that same emotion and timing and keep it as an archive and retrieve it when you want to action it. This will help you do it with a natural flair and a natural instinct. Pomodoro Technique. This is an important technique which will allow you to organize your time. Break your day into 25-minute chunks followed by 5 minutes break. That is 25 minutes of action plus 5 minutes of rest, which is one Pomodoro. After 4 such Pomodoros, take a long break of 15 to 20 minutes. Now, this Pomodoro technique is found very, very useful and very, very effective by a lot of people who have succeeded in their life, in their business, and in life. Allot specific time to check emails. This is a big issue to one and all in this today age of information. By allotting specific time to check emails, you will allow yourself not to get sucked into your time. Schedule emails to hit inbox only at a scheduled time. Allot a specific Pomodoro for going through them in a day. I, for example, schedule 3 Pomodoros in 3 different times, morning, afternoon, and evening, for checking my emails. Create a self-help WhatsApp. Create a WhatsApp group with a user and later delete him. You will be in this soul in that WhatsApp account. Use it to store pictures, voice, notes, messages. Use it as your personal archive for all needed referrals in future, so that you don't get into Googling, you don't get into Wikipedias multiple times, multiple occasions in a day and waste your time. All the information that you need to think on a specific subject in a day will be ready in this created self-WhatsApp. Put all the tasks on your calendar. Put everything, put all tasks, big or small, without any exception on your calendar. This will give you focus on what's need to be in priority for that day. Make frequent apps you visit hard to find. Every one of us lose most of our time getting engaged into the apps on our smartphones. Now, if you keep these apps away, I know it's very difficult to keep them away, but there is a way to keep them away. Keep them hard to find by not having them on home screen, but in a hidden folder elsewhere. This will reduce your anxiety to visit it frequently and lose your time. Try this. This works. I've been doing this. Attend to less than 2 minutes course. This will allow you to dispense some of the works during your regular course and reduce workload for the day. Any core or any decision that can be taken in less than 2 minutes time should be dispensed immediately, so that certain decisions which can be taken are taken in time. Pick to do hardest things when high on energy. In early hours of work, prioritize things which seem tough and need more of engagement for decisions. In the early part of the day, you're brimming with energy, you're brimming with challenge, you're brimming with your positive thoughts. This is the time when you should attempt to take decisions and do hardest things and give it a right thought and give it a good outcome. Reply to messages and emails when people are less likely to respond instantly. This will save your time, as your messages, emails are not replied instantly, forcing you into a loop of writing a reply. This is actually to save some time and to understand what you have written and to read what people are writing to you. If you go on mechanically receiving and replying to emails, ultimately there is no creative decision making, or there is no content exchange in the messages and emails you exchange. Schedule your distraction time. Yeah, you're hearing it right. Schedule your distraction time. Don't wait for distractions to come, but schedule it in a Pomodoro and try to write down all your distracting thoughts during that time. With this, you will learn to master distractions and become productive. This is a very easy way of learning how one can address distractions or disappointments in life. There, in this Pomodoro time, you are mentally making yourself available and fit to think, address, find solutions for all your distractions. Never try to remember anything. This is a major mistake every one of us will run into. You are not a PC, you are not a voice recorder to remember so many things in your mind. Your mind has a limited but good capacity. We should learn how to optimally use it. To the extent possible, inculcate a habit of writing down everything that comes across to you, which will lessen strain on your brain, keeping it fresh and agile for more crucial things. Yes, you heard it right. Keep your brain fresh and agile always. Listen to songs without lyrics. Don't laugh at it. It's got a lot of meaning. Songs with lyrics engage your thoughts and time and keep you in further thinking, while only music actually soothes your nerves and relaxes your mind into rejuvenation. Try both the next time. A song with lyrics, a song with music. Experience the difference. Start practicing it. You will find the difference. Don't take decisions on all matters of agenda. In everyday agenda, don't be like a superhero to have taken decisions on all matters. Have a keen eye on what matters really calling your attention. Choose only them and decide. The balance may find better and best solutions in next few days. Believe in tomorrow's for quality decisions.
Okay, sir. Thank you for your great lessons. Now we have some questions. We'll answer them. So, sir, the first question is from Atulya. She is asking how to manage my morning time.
Okay. See, how to manage your morning time. Atulya, I have no idea how old are you, but assuming you are a youngster, the early hours of the day are the most important hours of the day. Maybe let's look at something like between 6 o'clock in the morning to 9 o'clock by the time you go out to your college or school, right? So we are talking about 3 to 4 hours of time that has to be planned. The best thing to do once you get up is go for a walk. And if you can spend some 15-20 minutes in meditation, nothing like it, that gives you good thoughts and good control of your mind early in the morning. Maybe you spend another half an hour in your daily course, getting freshened up and getting prepared, and take a look at what is the work that has to be done over the day and any other work that has to be dispensed before you leave the home.
Thank you, sir. Sir, Siddharth, who is 22 years old, is asking, why is time important?
Siddharth, time is important, as I have told you. A bee is praised for its business and a mosquito is swatted for its business. So you have a choice. You want to be a bee in your life or you want to be a mosquito.
Thank you, sir. Now, Rohan, who is 21 years old, he's asking, how to tell colleagues that they need to improve without feeling bad.
Can you come again?
Sir, Rohan is asking how to tell colleagues that they need to improve their work quality without making them feel bad.
See, this question has the answer in itself. If you can critically visit it again. See, you are trying to help your colleague to tell him that there is ample scope to improve himself. Now, where is the question of you being offended in telling your friend that he can improve his performance? Right? So what it all depends on, it is not what you are conveying, it is how you are conveying, probably, right? So take a look at it from this perspective, and I think you'll be successful.
Thank you, sir. Now, Rehan, who is 34-year-old, is asking, should we limit our office meetings for better productivity?
See, we cannot generalize productivity meetings across different segments. Certain segments might need long hours of brainstorming. Certain segments may not need, and vice versa. So drawing an agenda before a meeting is the answer to all these challenges. Sitting in meetings for meetings, meeting for a meeting, meeting for the sake of meeting, a meeting without an agenda. These are all the villains in life, if you understand. But if you have a perfect agenda meeting and each point of the agenda is taken stepwise, I think each meeting can be productive.
Thank you, sir. Now, Lakshmi, who is 29 years old, she is asking how to reduce office meeting time yet get the work done.
Yes, you have an answer to this in the Pomodoro technique. See, there can be 3 Pomodoros you can create, let's say over 8 hours of your work. The first Pomodoro meeting in the morning, then the post-lunch Pomodoro, and the last, the one just before you leave the office. So the first Pomodoro can start with all the team members coming up with what is it that they are going to deliver in the office in next 8 hours. And for that, what is the empowerments they need? So having this, the management will be ready to provide them those, and they are also willingly discharging that in the next 8 hours. Now, coming to the post-lunch meeting, this is an appraisal of half day's work that has been achieved and what are the impediments that have come and whether that impediments are going to affect the second half of the day and how they can be averted. And the last one can be a really Thanksgiving meeting where we all thank the management, the team, which has been able to complete all the 8 hours tasks they said they will deliver and they have delivered, and give them a fresh list of what they are going to do tomorrow.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to the next question, Himani, who is 21 years old, she asked how to make life more interesting.
Yeah, life is interesting. You need not make it interesting, according to me. If you're trying and spending your time to make your life interesting, you are actually telling that life is not interesting, right? So even in the Pomodoro technique, they say you work only for 25 minutes and give a 5 minutes break. In that 5 minutes, you can walk out to sun, you can go and have a coffee, you can do a meditation, you can listen to a song. So in a Pomodoro itself, there is a 5 minutes entertainment every time you get into a Pomodoro technique.
Okay, sir. Moving on to the next question, Ashok, who is 22 years old, asked, should I work more even if I have a job?
What do you mean? Even if I have more work in the sense?
Basically, I think he's looking for freelancing options here. So he's asking, should I go for that?
Okay, see, if you have been there in the introduction, we were talking about an equinox, right? And we also understood that every day doesn't have same hours of daytime and nighttime. That is 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night. Each day it differs how many hours of duration of day and night. And generally, a human being is used to work in daytime. Of course, with the infestation of technology and time zone culture, now people are also working in the night timings, no doubt. But in the younger generation, when you are in the younger days, when I say younger days, ideally till 30, 35 to 40 years. Yes, one can try and stretch himself to work for more than 8 hours, unlike those who are supposed to stick to 8 hours working style when they are 45 and plus. So you being young, there is no stopping. I think you should go ahead with your extra work.
Thank you, sir. Sir, Saif, who is 27 years old, is asking, does productivity depend on fixed timing or should we stretch our time for better productivity?
See, extending time on product or productivity, right? These are two very critical things. Just by extending time, I don't think productivity is achieved. So what is needed in that time to get to that productivity? What is the kind of inputs that you will have to give to make that productivity in that given time? So there is a lot of research into it, and that research will tell you what are the parameters that you have to adapt to reach to that productivity. So don't jump into a cycle of productivity and then decide what are the parameters. Rather, have a concrete discussion on various parameters that can take you to the productivity. Try to get what are the most important parameters from that list, work on them, then in a given time, you achieve a given productivity.
Thank you, sir. Arvind, who is 25 years old, is asking, how do I maintain consistency in my work? As on day one, I am very excited and then it slowly fades away. So how do I tackle it?
Yeah, I think this is the problem of many in today's generation, consistency in work or consistency in thought. Right. This comes only because you are vague in your approach to your daily work. Now, if you can split this entire work process, as been told in the introduction of this webinar, into Pomodoros, each Pomodoro giving a specific task and trying to revise yourself from where you have started and where you are ending in a day. I think there you are getting answers for your consistency and focus.
Thank you, sir. Lokesh, who is 17 years old, is asking, how can I achieve 25 hours of work in 24 hours?
So there's nothing like achieving 25 hours of work in 24 hours, right? Now, this is actually a myth, but people have been working with good planning, right? That means they were breaking the barriers of time and able to work and achieve success. This is how it can be taken to understand, right? There is nothing like somebody is working 25 hours when he has only 24 hours.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Moving on to the next question. Swati is asking, who is 27 years old, what do I have to do to be more punctual in life?
See, there is nothing one should do to be punctual, right? You have to be conscious that your life and time are synonymous, right? It is not that you don't waste your time and waste others' time, right? So to be punctual, you should be conscious every second of yours, like 1 minute has 60 seconds. And that 1 minute has 60 seconds for every individual. It doesn't have 65 seconds for you and 54 seconds for somebody else. If we critically understand this, that time is irreversible and time is indispensable. There we are working on a frequency called time sense.
Thank you, sir. Venkatesh, who is 32 years old, is asking, how do I complete my work in 9 hours of job time? The work seems to be never ending.
See, this is a very typical question. Now, you know very well that you are going to work for 9 hours in your given job. You know that day one when you have joined the job. And when you start working for 9 hours, you know critically what is it that you are going to do in those 9 hours. How much of thinking is there? How much of analysis is there? How much of action is there? How much of follow-up is there? These are the 4 quadrants in any work. Now, if you can understand this and quantify them into Pomodoros and action them one by one, I think it is a doable task.
Thank you, sir. Rajendra, who is 21 years old, is asking, how to take out time to start side hustle while doing a job.
See, this is another, I won't say bug, but another common interest for people of today's generation, right? This startup culture has been catching up with the youth, and this is a very welcoming culture. But remember that in startups, 1 in 100 have a chance to stand out. Now, when you're already doing a job, trying to do a startup is not a bad idea, but see that there is no conflict of interest with your current job and with what you are doing as a startup. Because if there is a conflict of interest, forget about your management. You yourself will be having and entertaining this conflict in your mind, and there is every chance that this conflict will be shown on your work field. So don't get into anything that has conflict of interest with your job and which is also trying to take time from your regular 9 hours or 8 hours of the job. Earmark timings very clearly for your work time and for your startup time.
Sir, thank you, sir. Saif is asking, in real life, sometimes we stuck down in taking decisions. As we all know, a single decision changed the entire life. So can you please share your experience where you also handle this situation?
Yeah. See, there is no secret mantra for decision making, right? Everyone in life, every time you encounter a circumstance, is forced to take a decision. And never shy away from taking a decision and owning the decision you have taken. This is what makes a difference in every person. People take decisions, but they shy away from the decisions what they have taken. Once you have taken a decision, stick to it strongly and analyze what is coming on to you. Don't react to what is happening to you, but take it, understand it proactively, and then go forward with that decision. It will definitely lead to success.
Thank you, sir. That's all for the questions. You can close it now, sir.
Thank you. Let's catch up next week.